build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello everybody, welcome to Shortbangers. I'm May.
I'm Colin. How's things, mate? How was your week?
Good. Had a good week. Just as we were saying before we started recording, I've been down in London for the last couple of days. We took my daughter down to Kill a Mockingbird at the Gilgood. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think maybe Gilgood or Gilgud or Giljud or whatever, but Gilgood is what I'm going with. Because she's obsessed with Matthew Modine, who plays Papa or Dr. Brenner in Stranger Things. He's also in Full Metal Jacket, if you know that film.
I've heard it.
So we went down. It was brilliant. She met him after it, so she was buzzing. We were staying in the wee Premier Inn just on Leicester Square. We were going to check in, and I'll get your thoughts on this, right? So there's a big queue to check in. Like 3 o'clock's the check-in time, so obviously everybody's turned up at that. So we're waiting. The woman at the desk.
They don't have the automatic one where you can go to the machine.
Aye, so that it was only doing it if you had prepaid. So we hadn't prepaid the room, so we were having to wait for it. Because I actually asked the wee guy about it. The woman's explaining everybody in the queue. Breakfast is busy. What time you want your breakfast? Right, checking and paid for it. So everybody's getting their time. So I'm standing at the exchange. She's waiting in the wee lobby, but I says 9:30, all right. She says, "Aye, fine. 9:30's grand." So boy in front of me gets there, and he's fucking clearly heard everything that's happened, because I've heard it all. And the woman says, "What time do you want to come in for breakfast?" He says, "I don't know." She says, "Right, but it's just it's really busy and we can't guarantee you a seat. Depend, if you just turn up. But I don't know what time I'll be up." She says, "Right, but it's 6:30 till 10:30 is when breakfast's open. You just need to sort of tell." He says, "Well, I didn't normally have to do this if I come to a Premier Inn." She says, "No, most of the money is busy as this. Like, we've only got a small dining room."
She's just being an arsehole.
He said, "I don't know what time I'm going to be up." I was like going, "Come here about the tap and shoulders, just set a fucking alarm, mate. Like, it's no fucking either pick a time and set your alarm, or don't bother about your fucking breakfast. But don't be a fucking dickhead about it."
Yeah.
It was making me annoyed. And Kevin, you're like, I'm going to eventually just pick the time. But is this whole bit, or do I have to do this normally? He went for 9 o'clock. She went 9's full, which didn't help things. Okay, that was his first pick, so he went for 10. And then I was a fucking idiot. That annoyed me, right? And I was going to say to him, but actually, like I was saying before, I thought of you. That because I was like, Colin would definitely fucking say this to me. Just set your alarm, mate.
Aye, I would have either said set an alarm, or I would have said, "Mate, could you have a think about it and let me get checked in? Because I know the answer to this."
I've already worked it out. There was another wife at the escalator for Terminal 5 at Heathrow. And I don't know if you've ever been to Terminal 5 in Heathrow. They've got big barriers up so you can't take your luggage onto the escalator. She fucking fought to get it through the barriers, ignoring the fucking...
They've got them at Edinburgh Airport, but you can stick it through the middle, eh?
Aye. She fought with it to get it through, and her luggage was taking a fucking battering. And there's signs everywhere, no fucking luggage, no like elevators, escalator safety,
no
luggage, use the lift. And she fucking did it. 3 different sets of barriers she did it. I was like, fucking hell. We had to wait for her, obviously, to do it.
You don't think to say anything, no?
I
get involved.
I
In the gym,
I said to Jane, I was like, fucking, no meant to have luggage on these ones, I just said it like that. Just came one of these. I'm not going to fucking annoy the woman. Passive aggressive. And then we were waiting to get checked into the flight, and the flight was fucking rammed full. And so they were saying you couldn't take out, you might have to check your bags in. And they were looking for volunteers, and of course they can't fucking volunteers to get the bag checked in. So they're like, well, we're going to have to pick it at random.
For it?
You could get on board quicker, and it was free of charge to check your bags in. That was it.
On board quicker?
Aye. So you're going on the plane quicker that takes off at the same time as if you're the last one on it. I was like,
that's right. Sometimes they give you a free meal on that.
Aye, I know, or an upgrade or something, but I think it was that full, they didn't have the option to do that. So I had like the tiniest wee rucksack, so there would have been zero benefit in me doing it anyway. Like if I'd said, I'll check this in, they would be like, fuck off. In fact, my bag was so small. That's what the boy told me. I was ready to put it over here. He says, just fucking just chuck it under the seat. But they asked this wife, and she's like, oh, I've got stuff in there that I want to access. And they're like, aye, but it's non-negotiable. They really, really didn't do it. She went, oh, and then she moaned again, and then they went, all right then, and they went and just got other folks, and I was like,
Amazing.
fucking hell, see if they'd come to me, I'd be like, I've got stuff I need in
Who
here.
was that you were flying? Was that
BA, aye, and BA normally pretty, pretty good.
That happens with EasyJet a lot. Like when I was up and doing my work previously to Bristol and that, they were always at that. But depending on how much, I would do that on the way down, but on the way back, because on the way down, you go into your work, so if you get a bit longer on your back coming off, fine.
Aye,
But then
it's no hardship then. Because I was saying, like, people take a quick getaway off the flight. We bumped into a boy, I came. Stuart always takes a piss at me, like I always bump into somebody I can. It doesn't matter where we're going. So
I think that's because of the school we were at. It's so big, and
aye, then I've worked a few places now. Aye, this was so we bumped into a boy. You'll not say who he is, but used to be in my team at Agom. Bumped into him on the flight down. He was on his way to Germany, so he was going to change. So he was on our flight, so I had a bit of blather with him. And we're coming back to the airport to come up. He says, "You think you'll ken anybody this time?" I said, "Fucking doubt it." Gets on the plane. It's like 2 folk for Sky when I worked there. They said, "Oh, hi, I'm Ike," and all right, and then sat down. The wife who fucking sat next to me was like, "I can't hear it all."
It's weird, eh? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. That happens so regularly. We did it years ago, 2017. We went to Ibiza on holiday, and first night we were in the canteen, and this boy came up to me and went, "Yeah, I know you, but I can't think you were from." I heard the accent. What'd you work about? Ken done to the whole thing. Primary school ended up. He was a year below us at high school as well, but it was primary school because I didn't really know him at high school.
Aye.
Went on to play professional football actually. He ended up at Bristol. Bristol Rovers, they're the one that organized League One or whatever, League Two. Played there, done all right in Scotland and that, the boy. But he was the year below us at school. Primary school was when I knew him though, really. Didn't know at high. And we bumped in the fucking all-inclusive buffet in Ibiza. 20th year after, really mad.
I wonder, there must be like a statistical certainty of bumping into somebody you can. It's like we were talking about before about having the same birthday as somebody. Like if you're in a room with 20 odd folk, you're likely to have the same birthday as somebody.
I can't believe that one. I think that's an amazing stat. I'm saying I can't believe it. I do believe it. I do believe you've read it and you've understood it. But what I mean is it seems unrealistic.
Aye.
There's 365 days it could be. And yet, I think it when you say the same birthday, not the same year, just the same day of the year.
Yeah, same day, yeah. Aye, not the exact same birthday.
So that would reduce the number, but it's still one in, surely it's still a 1 in 365 chance.
Aye, you would think so, but apparently it's...
What about somebody was born on the 29th of February? Is that still 1 in 25?
No, I don't know.
That must
be odds, eh? You would think so. You would think so. Although there must be the same amount of folk born on the 20th... No, there's no. Fucking... I was going to say the same amount of folk born on the 29th of February. There would be for that year than every other day, assuming an even spread. Aye. I think there are months or days that are more popular, kind of like 9 months after Valentine's Day and things
September,
like that.
August and September are popular because of Christmas and that, Christmas night shoot and stuff, eh?
Aye.
I know August, our calendar's heaving in August in this family that just like directly because of me and others that I know, friends as well. August birthdays, so August seems to be a real busy month.
Aye.
And that's because that's early December, eh?
Aye.
Or late November and that, so it must is that? Aye.
Well, it would be
when in August, eh?
Yeah. Or the Christmas shaggers, eh?
And November's a boat. What else do you do in November, eh? Just got to keep warm.
Exactly. Right, we'll get some questions. Right, first question's for Fats Prickus, who asks, "What was that actress in before that film?"
Do you do that? Do you get that in your house?
Aye, all the time. I'm bad for it. Do you use IMDb?
Aye. I try and work it out, and sometimes I can't be fucked. Sometimes I go, I get him, right? And then I've not got the inclination to go and search for it. Other times I'm going, I really know who that is, so I'll look. But I'll say to Carol, I'll go, oh, who the fuck's that? And she'll go, oh, they've been in loads of things. And I'll go, well, go tell me one of them that I might know, so I could try and fucking work out who it is. Because just tell me they've been in loads of things. That's no helping. No helping.
It's funny sometimes we'll see something in rec. Sorry, on you go.
I'm going to delay that. I was going to say, like, I know you're a big fan of pornography and that, so you ever worry that you go, who the fuck's she? This is some porno.
Nah. I would be does they come up with it? They must have been thinking of somebody else. That's the answer to that one, isn't it? Sometimes when you look somebody up and they've been in something that you've watched, but they've maybe been in like an incidental character, and you go, "Oh, fuck it, can that come from somebody?" And they'll go and say like that one episode, you go, "Fuck, we're doing that," and then they do that quite a lot. Somebody will remind me of somebody. But in terms of Alex's question, what was that actress in before that film? Rehearsals, probably.
Yeah, probably. Or Neighbours are Home and Away if she's Australian a bit.
Aye. Because they ended up in everything, didn't they, for a while?
They do. That's amazing the amount of ones you do. Like, you go, how the fuck's that? And you look at it and you go, well, they were in Home and Away for 2 years in 1999, and you go, fucking hell, can't even mind watching it then. No idea who that character is. So I was watching that House, what's it called? Not House of Cards. House of Lies? Is that a programme? I think it is.
Oh, I don't know, I've not seen that. It's not House of Dragons, the Game of Thrones spin-off, is it?
I've not watched that yet. We've got that sitting on the planner. That was one we were going to watch over Christmas, New Year, didn't you? Into it.
That's quite good.
Is it good,
Aye, worth watching. If you like Game of Thrones, it's worth watching.
House of
It's just
Lies.
made the same.
I've not seen many reviews or that yet. Get slating it or saying it's brilliant either. So I just sat there on the planner. We've been hitting The Office on Netflix, the American one. So
Aye.
Up to season 6 of that now.
Are you? Good.
House of Lies. That's what it is. That's what I was right saying what I said. But I was sitting watching that going, fucking. And she was a total incidental character. She was like one of the main characters. Was a bit of a shagger, and she was in it. She was lucky if she was in it for about 3 episodes this week, and I'm going, I fucking know her. She was Neighbours.
There you go.
And I'm going, fuck me.
Like, was it Kylie Brogue, was it?
No, I was. Oh fuck me, what was her name again? But she was a PE teacher in Neighbours. She was quite tidy, like that's how I remember her. But she was in that, and I'm going, I fucking know her. For ages, you know what I mean? And I'm going to try to find, because she was an incidental character. She was just in it now and again, like, you know, because I'm going, you couldn't even find her name to go and search for her. But it was like, when you're looking down the whole list, going, fucking, who's that? It's not him, no them, till you get to the actual character.
You have to try and patch up the picture something as well, like if you didn't ken who they are. I like doing it subtly and pretending that I remembered kind of like a general, like, what the fuck is that? And then I'll be like, oh, they were in that. And I've checked it maybe like 5 minutes ago. She'll go, oh, that's good. Quite good at knowing these.
Are you still listening to Frank Skinner's podcast or radio show? I think he's still on a Saturday morning on Absolute Radio. It's one of the first ones I started when I started listening to podcasts years ago. I used to listen to download his. He's got a rule, or he did have a rule, that you can't Google it. Aye. Because that's good for the brain to try and work it out. Try and use your memory in that. But I just give in early doors, just like, nah, fucking Google it. Because it just annoys me. And I can't concentrate on the programme then, because I'm going, fuck, what are you in?
Aye.
So, aye. I don't know what you think of that, but try to use your brain over Google, right?
Well, I've tried it before, Colin. I'm not a fan. I'm going to be honest. No. It's a bit of hassle. A bit of a faff.
I know.
The thing is, I've not got a memory for for details. I struggle with that. Like, I'm alright at working out. I could work it back and probably get roughly where I've seen them. I tell you, like, a weird thing for remembering something. How would I explain this? I was in Tesco, and I caught the very, very last note of a song.
Mm-hmm.
That was playing, like the very last note. I was like, I fucking know that for somewhere. And
too late to get Shazam on the go and that.
Like there was no chance of doing that, and it wasn't even like enough of the song, like literally like the last split second of it. But it had like it was like a really high pitched bit. I was like, I reckon, and I racked my brain for fucking ages for it. and I could picture where I'd heard it. Like I was like, I came where I was when I heard that one. It was like it would have been in my bedroom in Smith's Place in Leith when I lived there, so I could get the time frame. And I was like, what was I listening to around about that time? And then I got it sort of nailed into one album. I was like, I think it's for that album. And then I was going through it, and I was like, I think it's that song off it. And I went and played the song, and I was fucking right. It was a Humpty Dumpty song. Travis, was it the Man Who or something like that? I can't remember what album that's on. But I got it, but it took me days and days and days going through it.
And I bet you forgot whatever it was Jane had asked you to get for Tesco's.
Oh, I came back completely empty-handed.
She was thinking about the Travis song.
Empty-handed. No chance.
Here's the toilet roll. Oh, fuck.
But
that memory thing's mental, though, because like, you think I've got a good memory, right? And I just remember daft, irrelevant information at points.
Or something that you want to, something that you've disagreed with that you will recall at a later date. It's other things, like if somebody's made a point, you've gone, fuck that.
Probably. Or if I've ever been proved wrong on something.
Aye.
Something like that. I've got a good memory for stuff like that. Somebody pisses me off. But I was watching The Office last night, the American one. And it was the wedding in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And I've been there, like I went there in 1998, it's 25 years ago. And they went on that Maid of the Mist. And I said to Carol, I've been on that. And I thought to myself, was I on it? Or did I just remember seeing it? I can't remember if I went on it. I'm sure I went on it, because I remember getting the waterproof sort of thing the thing they give you in that. But I can't remember if I definitely was on it. How mental was that, eh? Like a sort of big thing like that. You're at Niagara, you're in a fucking boat that goes right up to the falls, and I can't remember. I remember being there that day because I was hobbling about because I'd done my ligaments in a game. I was playing rugby over there, done my ligaments in my foot the day before, and I was limping about and I was pissed off because everybody was marching about and I was like fucking hopping about in agony. And I remember going into one of the designer stores after it and buying a couple of Ralph Lauren shirts. But I can't even remember. I can even remember the shirts. I bought a blue one and I got a fucking grey t-shirt, right? I remember buying that. I cannot remember if I was on that boat or not.
That's mad.
I'm sure I must have been.
Aye.
But I can't remember. That's fucking nuts, eh? It's fucking wrong with me.
You have these things where, what was it? Is it the Nelson Mandela effect or something, where folk have false memories of big things? Is that not like loads of folk remembered his death, but he wasn't dead?
Yes, I've read about that before.
I'm sure that's like that sort of phenomenon where it comes from. And I think sometimes you do. The other thing that happens is over time you tell stories, don't you? And folk embellish stories and stuff like that. Then you kind of forget.
I was hearing about that the day because there was that fire the other day at the Jenners, and it's been about a furor in the work apparently. Anyway, I can't talk about that. But the actual I think it was a woman that works in like Wagamama's or something, was on all the news programmes. And every time she went on the news programme, she was on STV, she was on the BBC, she was on another one, she like added something else to the story she told. So it was like almost every time she got interviewed, she was like, start to think she was like some kind of fucking journalist or media magnate, and she was just going, the kid was like, I got a fish this size, and that was this size. It was fucking, I got a hole in one. Sort of thing, you know. She was at the every time she told it was like an embellishment, and it's just that's what happens in real life, isn't it? Because that's what I always say. That like it was something Dad told me years ago. There's three sides to every story, because it's like your side, my side, and actually the truth.
Aye.
You know, and it's true. It's like you do wonder, you think, because I have arguments with wife. Well, everybody has arguments with wife, but when I have an argument with wife, you think, that's not what I said. Did I? You know what I mean? And it's like, because it was even about how much they've talked about the holiday and that the other day. And I thought, I didn't think I said that. Like, and this was within a week, or a few days, the conversation took place over. And I'm thinking, how did she hear that? And did I think it was that? What actually was said? I'd love to really just like rewind and have a watch.
Aye, to go back and see. I should say it's like one of the least reliable pieces of evidence you get in criminal trials is eyewitness evidence. For that very reason, is folk sort of decide what they've happened, and then that's what they'll say they saw, whether that's what they actually seen or not. Anyway, right, one question, Colin.
Good.
I also on the tweet.
Was that Alex's question?
That was
what film was she in?
I had asked
Jen or something.
what was the sin the Pet Shop Boys were on about on my wee tweet out, and Guinness 22 said it was the button in between Con and Tan. I think it was Cos and Tan, wasn't it? Sokotoa and all that stuff.
Aye. That's a predictive text thing that he's been caught out there. Spoiled his joke.
AKA Rab says, did you see that thing?
I think I did. I don't think I did. I've not seen much recently.
Well, where were you, like?
Just been busy.
What's the best thing that you've seen?
The best thing that I've seen? That'd be David Gray banging the header, isn't it?
Aye. What's the most unusual? I suppose the most unusual thing is probably the same answer, but what's the last thing you've seen that you thought, oh, fucking hell, I need to tell somebody about that?
I don't know. What have I tell you already on this? What was I telling you before we had half an hour of a good chat before we started recording? We were talking
about London, weren't we? We were walking through, I think it's Royal Park. I think that's what it's called, next to Buckingham Palace, right? So we were having a wee bit of sightseeing when we were down, and I can't go anywhere without needing the toilet. Like, this is a well-established fact. So I clocked there's public toilets. I said, I'm just going to go to the toilet, wait for me, to Jane and Jess. And as I was in, I came out and there was like a wee pigeon that was white and grey, looked very different from the other one. And Jane and Jess were like, oh man, you've missed all the action. She's that pigeon there had that yin by the neck and was dragging it about. Aye, it's like a wee fucking bully pigeon, eh? There was parakeets, green parakeets kicking about there. There's well, and then other birds that looked sort of like duckish, but I think if they were actually ducks. Or no. Aye. I really needed Melody to be there to fucking tell me what was what in the bird environment. But I shouted on him. Nice I know. I think if he was near there or not. Usually do that. Aye. Anyways, things like that. I like seeing that. Or I clock things like fucking folk try to batter through their luggage through a barrier. Like, things like that. I go, fucking, you tell somebody about that. Somebody walking into a pillar is always good fun.
I've not seen that for ages, actually.
Nah, it's been a while. Disappointingly. I did get hit by the lift door at the airport as I was walking in. It just decided to start shutting as I was going in. That was.
Aye. Didn't recognise you. I got smashed in the back of the head the day with a squash ball. So, full force hit.
Nice one.
Bang. I didn't go down. I didn't fall down or nothing. I had my head. Weird day. Like, I've seen it happen. Like, folk glance and they go down and had their head, but I was smashed full force. I don't know, 50 mil an hour? I don't know, guessing how hard it was coming. Rattled the back of my head. You lump the other now, actually.
Aye, you've been checked out for concussion. Can you like taking these things seriously?
Yeah, I'd done that at the time.
Yeah, count to 10 and.
I didn't go down right, so I didn't think I needed to leave the field, but I did take a moment and go, for fuck's sake, man, like that. But I didn't see stars on my hand. It was just the shock of it, I think, more than the actual. But I fucking rattled. And I thought, no wonder that. Mind that was at the Rangers boy, the boy Negri at the time. He was out for ages because he was playing squash with somebody else, and he got temporarily blinded or something.
He got hit in the eye with it, didn't he?
How the goggles?
How did you get hit behind you? Did it bounce off the wall, or was your opponent standing behind you?
He was behind me, trying to hit it past me, smashed to the back of my head.
Try to hit it past you?
I'd already hit. No, he's not that good. he's not that good. But it's just because I'd played the shot, and then like you just anticipate sort of anticipation, eh? And then so he was behind me, and he just fucking rattled it. And I went, well, wasn't it? Few swear words.
Aye. Who wins the point in that scenario? Do you win it?
What we done was we avoided it. No, he gave me the point.
Oh, did I?
Actually, but I think it should probably be avoid point and you just play it again, because it wasn't intentional. But then I suppose they could, and if the boys that are good, they could start to hit each other. We could,
Aye,
So
extreme
I
squash.
guess it must be a void point. I don't know what the actual rule is, but we just make it in real situations like that.
I would think you'd have to, because you've not hit the wall
No.
with your shot, unless it hit you and deflected onto the wall. But
Yeah.
I guess if it hit the back of your head, it probably ended up going back towards him.
Because there was later on, there was a point where we hit the wall. I hit the wall, and because it was really close to the wall, it came back to me and hit. Like I was trying to get away, but I hit my foot. That's his point.
Aye.
Because then I've impeded that. But we're not actually sure. Aki just felt bad for me giving me the point because he's rattled the back of me.
I'm sure there'll be a squash expert listening, so they can text us in.
Text us in.
80295 with the topic squash heat. And then the answer. Right, that's us out of time, Colin. I think we got through 2 questions.
3, maybe. 2's not bad.
Quick one, right, because it's Hibs related. Mike Berry asked, if Hibs sack Lee Johnson, does he get to keep the camel car coat and leather driving gloves?
I think there has. So I assume.
Aye. Right, that's no bad one to finish on. Right, thanks very much for sending questions in. We will go and record Shortbangers Extra now. We'll probably get through more than three questions in the half hour or so that we've got to record it. So if you want to listen to that, click on our Twitter bio. There's a wee link in there so you can subscribe. For £3 a month, you get Shortbangers Extra, you get all our Longbangers content, and Hibs, which has had a couple of cracking episodes on it as well. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no, you know